Director General of Social Security and National Insurance Trust (Ssnit), Mr. Tvucc has urged staff, especially those in the operations and benefits divisions of the trust, to prioritize the sustainability of the institution. He said the issue of the sustenance of the scheme has become increasingly pressing due to three primary factors, including the maturing phase and outlook of the fund, changes introduced by the National Pensions Act 2008, Act 766, and the irregular contribution payment for public sector workers. Addressing members of the Executive Committee, area managers, heads of department and branch managers, and stakeholders at this year's three-day Operations and Benefits Conference held at the Elmina Beach Resort, Mr. Osafo said despite the gains made by the scheme, indebtedness is something that needs urgent attention.
The key message that I find from the theme is that this gathering is expected to come out with ways of expanding coverage using the appropriate technology to improve funding of the scheme. And the methods by which we can do that more effectively is really what we want to dwell on for the next 3 days. The issue of sustainability can never be ignored with a pension when we are talking about a pension fund, irrespective of the model. We've taken significant strides to ensure that this aspect has improved significantly. And indeed, if we look at the data that we have for the private sector, the public sector, and also total contributions, they've been marked improvements. But as I always say, and I think some of you would remember the adage in primary school, is it good, better, best? Yes, I think that is it. We can always do better. And each year, we must strive to do better. If I look at the data for 2019 to 2023, we've seen private sector contributions go up 88.3%. The contributions payments for the public sector have gone up 220%. And again, that really reflects the sort of engagement that we've been having with the government and public sector institutions. There is going to be a specific drive to look at public sector institutions. There has to be. We have to address the issue of indebtedness of public sector institutions. We have to sit down with them and come up with payment plans that ensure that they meet all their commitments. I think that is an important drive going forward. Indebtedness across the sector is something that we need to focus on as a trust.
The Director General of Ssnit reiterated that one other way to achieve sustenance of the trust is to be innovative and attuned to global trends in managing pension schemes and to embracing technology.
Sustaining the Ssnit scheme through increased active membership and adequate contribution collections using appropriate technology. Indeed, without technology, we are doomed. My view is that we are competing for the extra cedi. Having stepped into the informal space with a bit more drive, we've always been there, but having stepped in there with a bit more drive, technology is going to be key, and we are competing for the extra cedi. And that requires that we are more nimble on our feet. It requires that we apply even more passion than we hitherto have to our Ssnit business.
The 3-day operations annual conference brought together top management, departmental heads, as well as area and branch managers from across the country to discuss ways of expanding coverage using appropriate technology to improve funding of the scheme. Speaking on the theme for the conference, sustaining the Ssnit scheme through increased active membership and adequate contribution collections using appropriate technology, the Deputy Director General of Operations and Benefits, Ms. Juniela Kpedekpo, said technology is a powerful enabler of efficiency and innovation. She added that using the appropriate technology in this regard would make the onboarding process easier for workers and self-employed persons, especially those in remote areas, to join the Ssnit scheme and contribute regularly.
For the past few years, the themes for the Operations and Benefit Division conferences have always centered on sustainability of the Ssnit scheme. It is worthy to note that the deliberate effort to spearhead this strategy is not misplaced and can lead to the provision of quality pension for all workers in Ghana, including the self-employed, and ensure the scheme is sustained for generations to come. I must say that the landscape of social security is evolving rapidly as a result of technological advancement, which has brought about convenience in service delivery as well as informed, sophisticated stakeholders. The use of technology will enhance visibility of our business operations and enable members and clients to have real-time updates and access to account information. This measure does not only establish transparency in the trust operations, but also provides world-class service delivery and subsequently build trust among members and stakeholders. Our goal is to ensure that every eligible worker in this country is covered under the Ssnit scheme and actively contributing. Therefore, there is the need to enhance our outreach efforts, particularly the self-employed enrollment drive, also known as SEED, to enroll more potential workers on the scheme. We can do this by reaching out to all informal sector workers and self-employed persons. When we use appropriate technology, we can integrate these workers into the scheme and encourage them to contribute on their exact earnings using our digital platforms. This move will certainly enhance service delivery and subsequently lead to sustainability of the scheme.
Reporting for TVUCC, Comfort Sweetie Yedoyeboa.